Today on the show, I'm speaking with Jonny Andrews, and he shares how he's helping a lot of people get their message out there through Kindle books and how easy it is to get a book published these days. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Natalie Ledwell, and this is The Inspiration Show. And today my special guest is Jonny Andrews. How are you, Jonny?
I'm lovely. Thanks for having me. How you feeling?
Fantastic. Where are you coming to us from? Where are you?
Chicago.
Oh, right. Because I see you all rugged up there in your jumper and everything.
Absolutely.
And as you can see, I'm still in my San Diego.
It says NIU, but I did not go there. I just like their clothing.
Now, look, the reason I have Jonny here is because he is doing some very important work in the world right now. And he's helping people get their message out in a very unique way, in a very unusual way when it comes to books. I was just sharing with Jonny just before we got on this call. I've just been speaking to a lady who has been waking up in the middle of the night. She's been getting these incredible downloads. She's been writing a book. Like, she goes, I don't even know where this come from. She's never written a book before. And I'm like, so what are you doing with it? And she goes, well, to get it published is such hard work. And I'm like, well, you don't have to do that these days. You know, so tell us a little bit about what it is that you do in your story, Jonny.
All right, cool. Well, actually, let me sort of back up with the whole book thing, because a lot of times, unless you're downloading from the ether, that having a book and the act of writing it can actually be kind of like ridiculously daunting. And so I typically point out to folks that there's probably a billion and one ways to like come up with a book and that sort of thing. And that's one of the important things to remember, is that the accessibility that you mentioned, that's really one of the most important parts. Is this is something that anybody can do regardless of their like talent or anything like that, because I'll tell you all about that stuff. But like the quick thing on like how I got into this, I was one of those back in the day, one of those like internet marketing people, did a bunch of product launches, et cetera, what have you, and really just sort of looked at the business model and looked at the sustainability of what that was, and I was kind of like, it's as a single dude, it was cool, you make a bunch of money one month, next month, whatever, but then I went and did something like this, and you can kind of get the feeling that, that life isn't too happy when it's like, hey, there's money here. Oh, by the way, babe, for the next 3 months, we're going to have to dumpster dive because I didn't send some emails. So clearly something needed to change, and I was looking for a business model that was really, scalable and sustainable, and, just something I could make big. And I, had always loved books and whatnot. And so when the Kindle thing came out, jumped into it really with both feet, because it's basically like you're partnering with Amazon, I guess you could say, where they send you like all the traffic and stuff. I'm like, wow, look at this. 90% of the crap that I had to do is now being done by someone who does it a billion times better than anyone I know. So I'll just do this. And it's turned out to be great. Like our publishing company has done, like we're working like some of the biggest health and fitness people out there. We've done fiction. It's really fun. Actually outsold Stephen King for a while. Beat out James Patterson on. It's really awesome. There's like systems in place that you can use that when done correctly can work. So for those people who have always, what do they say? Like 90% of the world wants to write a book. Cool. It's easy. You do it. And then in terms of like what you were saying with your friend who's sort of, having this stuff kind of like downloaded through her, the reality is the last thing you want to do on the planet is try to get published. It's just not a good idea.
Well, I'm going through the process right now, and it's not easy. It is not easy. And the thing is, and we've been talking a lot about this wave of consciousness, this wave of energy that's coming through, and there are so many of us out there that have a message. We have some information that's going to help many people. And even if you look at the internet marketing thing, we've had success, but we have a team, it wasn't always that way, but we have a team. And when you're talking about something like doing a Kindle book, you're talking about something that you could pretty much do on your own. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I got started, was just me doing it. I sort of abandoned all my other business practices and whatnot, just kind of let them roll, and then say, well, let's find out what happens next, kind of. And it was great. It was awesome. Within put out my first book, it took, a weekend to write loosely. And then I think within about 13 hours of the first promo, I was #1 best-selling author. I was actually outselling like Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki, all these dudes. And I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. Like, I think we figured something out here. And so just kind of kept repeating that process over and over again. But it's awesome because, it doesn't really matter if it could be fiction, it could be nonfiction, and it's all the same. It's really like what's happened is that the publishing industry, this is a little oversimplified, but those big, massive publishing houses.
Yep.
The reason they're freaking out so much is because everything that they have known in terms of what they do is for processes, in terms of getting books out in front of people, it's literally become a button. Mm-hmm. Like, beep, oh my word, like these multi-billion international whatever dollar companies are now completely obsolete and they have no idea what to do about it. And what it's done is it's empowered the author.
Yeah.
Because now there's no difference from like you to your readers. They're literally, you're in the same room with them. Like anybody on an iPhone, on a Kindle, on any sort of pad, computer, whatever it is, your stuff is right there. And so all it really comes down to is if you have a book already, it's simply how do you put that in front of people? It's really the only equation now, is how do you get that stuff in front of people to become, how do you set yourself up to literally be the thing that they want to read?
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that now. You can literally wipe out all other mechanics.
Yeah, right. So, that's the thing. Like, if people are looking for any type of message, any type of information, they can just type that into Amazon or type that into Google and the books will come up, right?
In Amazon, it can sort of yes, no. There's a bunch. That now is getting into specifics, and it's a little. It depends on, first of all, what you want to accomplish with this, because the first step in this whole thing is decide what your outcome is. Like, why are you doing this? If you just, like, say, for example, you have a yoga studio and you want to put out some kind of book on yoga and then maybe generate people to come back to your studio to sign up for lessons. I mean, think about this. There's a billion yoga studios out there. How do you differentiate yourself? Yeah. So if your purpose with this book is to become, say, a best-selling author, now teaches yoga classes. I mean, dude, you can just put a 0 at the end of each one of your prices and you're probably going to be full up for the next couple of years if you do it right, Right. Whereas you might have another group of folks who, have this story of, kids books or something, and they're just like, I just really want to sell these things, and I want to make some sort of passive income stream or whatever it is. That's a little bit different. But it all comes down to know who you want to sell this stuff to, like who's going to buy it. And everybody is not the answer. Mm-hmm. Everybody said, this is good for everybody. Well, pick someone out of that everyone, because if you try to hit everybody, it's not going to work. And then what you do is you simply get onto, you look at the categories. Like what you were talking about earlier was more of a keyword fact, where it's like somebody types something, how to shave squirrels, which I know is really popular, in parts of the world right now. So if you're an expert squirrel shaver and you write a book on that, on the technique to pull the thing to get the pelt, it's all cool. Then if you type that in, you optimize your keywords, then you're going to show up and that's cool and you can sell them that way. However, what if you're doing zombie horror?
Right.
What is zombie apocalypse? Like, what are people typing in? And so when it comes down to that kind of thing, you need to do categories. And that's where Amazon comes in. So if you go into the Kindle store, as you can see me doing in the air right here, just follow my hands, perfect. You go into the Kindle store, you type on, you hit the little Kindle thing, go to Kindle Books, and you click on the bestseller list. Oh, that's the magic. Then you're going to see all these little categories things that drop down on your left side. That's where the ninja sauce lives. Right. And what you do is you find where your readers are, where your message is going to be best delivered within those categories, and you link yourself into those categories. It doesn't cost you anything. It's really easy to do.
Right.
You just have to do it that way. Don't worry so much about the keywords, but then you have to have a cover that looks amazing. So the cover has to reflect what your book is about. The title has to tell people what they're going to get. And then you have to have what's called social proof, basically, reviews and stuff. Now, don't buy them. Seriously, don't do that. It's illegal, and Amazon will send people to your home to steal you in the night. But what you want to do then is just give it to your friends, have them review the book for you. Mm-hmm. Simple. And that way, when you go out and you do some promotion, people are going to be like, wow, this is awesome, great. Look at this great book with some good reviews, and it looks awesome. They click a little preview, they can read the intro. Like, wow, this is exactly what I want, and then they're going to be more likely to buy the book.
Right.
And it's easy to get on those bestseller lists.
Right.
And once you're a bestseller, dude, you can put that everywhere.
Right.
It's awesome.
All right, so let's give some ideas or some examples, because I know that you've been working with a lot of people to do this, of some of the subjects that people have written books about.
Oh, man.
And I hope that you were joking about the squirrel shaving.
my personal favorite. I like to make hats in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Some clothing for my babies. But it's hilarious that you asked that question, because the answer is everything, to be perfectly honest. Mm. Folks who have done children books, they've done health and fitness, parenting, divorce avoidance, marriage reconciliation. A couple have done, I'm trying to think, I did a vampire book. It was hilarious. It just all sorts of crazy ninja tomfoolery has come out of people. It's whatever you want to do. But regardless of that, make sure there's an audience who wants to read it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like the big thing. Because if you write a book, it's not about the book. It's about the people who want to read the book. Mm-hmm. And your book can be positioned correctly. And I've talked to a few fiction authors, for example, about this, because it can be a little strange when you're not writing about something that has a pure, like, how to do this component. Mm-hmm. That how do you target? And what you do then is you look at the psychology of the readers. People who, for example, we're about to release like a big survivalist kind of, it was going to be nonfiction, but then we're like, this is too much fun. Let's easy doomsday scenarios, and this is write it as fiction and have a better time with it. And so that's what we're putting out right now. And what we found is that there's a very cross parallel between people who read this stuff and read like these post-apocalyptic things, zombie thriller stuff. It's really a lot of fun. Just ask yourself who is going to read it and go after them. Find what they're reading and just align yourself with that. It works like
awesome. The help that you give people doing this is just incredible. Where can we send people to find out about what you do and find out more about you?
Well, we set up that wonderful little URL, the perfectpublishingsystem.com/mindmovies.
The perfectpublishingsystem.com/mindmovies.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful. Jonny, thank you so much for joining me today. Your energy has been incredible. Yes. Now, guys, I encourage you to share this video and the information in it, and you can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons above. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you put your email in the box above there, because I would love to send you my Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. It's got masters like Bob Proctor, Joe Vitale, John Assaraf. It's valued at $87, and I'd like to give it to you for free. So make sure that you put your email in the box above there to get that. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this video. Now, before you go, do you want to learn the insider secrets to welcoming more abundance, more love, and more happiness into your life from some of the world's most inspiring personal growth gurus? Then be sure to click the link below now to subscribe to the Inspiration Show community and be one of the first to find out about brand new episodes of the show. You're absolutely going to love what we have coming up in store for you. Plus, you'll instantly receive a free copy of my Manifesting with the Masters video e-course featuring some of the biggest stars from the movie The Secret, teaching you how to manifest your dream life faster and easier than you ever thought possible. So to get your free copy, be sure to click on the link below now. I'm Natalie Ledwell. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. I'll see you soon.